takes a lot of ingredients to fix or build a car, like cooking, but without the frozen dinner easy way out. eBay Motors has 122 million parts. It's always the right fitment, so you can follow any recipe to a T. Whether it's a vintage Italian coupe that's classic like Grandma's meatballs, or a German luxury car that's as complicated as Oma's rouladen, to cook up something great in the garage, use the eBay Motors app or visit ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
I tell you what's been bothering me the most today.
Okay.
I'm going to read you the headline. Exclusive. Gary Busey, 78, has been sitting in a public park in California with his pants down smoking a cigar the day after being charged with groping 3 women at a horror movie convention. Now,
well,
I'm going to start unpacking this, and it might blow up at me.
Okay. I saw those headlines, and I did not go any further, so I'm glad you did. So go ahead, go for it.
First of all, if you are attending what did they say, a horror
movie convention?
What is this? At a horror movie convention.
Now wait a second. It's HORROR. That's
not a horror movie convention. Because a horror movie convention,
they wouldn't complain, right?
I have never been to a horror movie convention. Okay. But for reasons I can't expand on, I've seen a lot of the other. Okay. And they would know how to handle Gary Busey.
Probably, yes.
Okay. But my thing was, if they're there at this horror convention and they're wanting to be frightened or spooked and he is a guest, they've got special treatment, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Maybe. How more frightening can you get to be molested by Gary Busey at any point in the world?
If you talk about horror, not to minimize it at all, but Gary Busey's just scary, period. And I'm reading here that So welcome to the horror show. Folks. Why you would pay? Because that's what I'm reading. This is all about paying to go into this horror and then get to meet these people. Who wants to meet Buddy Holly? That's exactly that's who he is. That's the best role he's ever had, isn't it?
Did he play Buddy Holly? I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the Buddy Holly story. Yeah, he earned an Academy Award nomination.
Come on. Gary Busey got an Academy Award nomination?
Yeah, for playing Buddy Holly.
Well, how old was I? When was this?
1978.
That explains it all. In the summer of 78, I was riding a jackass in the Kentucky State Fair. So I would not have seen Buddy Holly. We were mourning the passing of Elvis Presley.
Yeah, Elvis. Yeah, exactly. But over the years, he's gained a reputation for erratic behavior that some have linked to a serious 1988 motorcycle accident in which he suffered severe head injuries. He was not wearing a helmet. Okay. All right. I'm not saying that.
You're reading the article.
I'm reading a article.
Because I can't do that. You know what I mean? When I see stuff like that, first of all, what part of California is it? Malibu. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I have been in the last 5 years. What year is it? 2022.
Yeah.
In the last 4 years, I've been to California at the minimum of 5 times. So what I am going to say, I say with great love and respect.
Okay. All right.
If you go to California's like going to Afghanistan without the guns. Okay. And what I mean by that is it's not like a normal place. You should know that going there, right? So if you're walking around any freaking park in California, sky's the limit, right? Nothing should scare you by now or surprise you. Like where you're at in Ohio. right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If not just Gary Busey, but any kind of weirdo was sitting over there smoking a cigar, don't leave the cigar out, right? They would probably get on to you faster for smoking than exposing yourself in some of these places.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
But my point is, where I'm from, the man will pay you a visit rather quickly. So when it happens, it rarely happens because it's not a tolerated behavior. But when you go to California or stay in California very long at all, you've just got to realize anything can happen, right?
Yeah, there seems to be places out
And just
there.
these people should be glad it was Gary Busey, somebody famous, uh, groping them as opposed to Joe Shit the Rag Man that nobody knows, right?
Don't know. I don't think it makes it any better. I got to be honest.
The other thing with Gary, I don't understand. Nobody can help the dude. He ain't got nobody, no old hanger-ons, no old groupies, no sisters, no kids, nobody that can say, "Hey, Dad, sit in this padded room. We're here to help you."
I don't know, but okay. So imagine being 78 though, and this is the whole David Allan Coe thing. David Allan Coe he didn't want to be out still performing for 10,000 a show, even though we're like that's a lot of money, but he had to do it because he had to pay his bills. He'd rather be sitting at the slot machine or going to the buffet. Well, what's Gary Busey want to be at a horror movie convention at 78 years old? And I think
you think they paid him or invited him or somebody brought him?
Oh yeah, that was part of the deal. He was the person one of the people that they paid to meet. So like you paid a VIP ticket to go meet. And I think it said in that article his big claim to fame in horror movies was being in Stephen King's Silver Bullet.
What did he do in that movie?
I don't know what he did in that movie.
I don't even know what that movie was. I'm not a Stephen King guy.
Silver Bullet, it was a werewolf movie.
Well, why not?
It says several horror films, including the 85 adaptation of the Stephen King werewolf story, Silver Bullet. Although I don't know. He had roles in Gunsmoke and Beretta. And he was in Star. Whoa. His work in Star is Born. Won the attention of Dustin Hoffman.
What did he do in The Star is Born? The original Star is Born or the second one?
Probably the second one with like Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
He was in Predator 2, Point Break, Slapshot 2. So
maybe that's what he's auditioning for, Slapshot 3.
Slapshot. Oh God. But the main thing is Gary Busey it's probably to the point where he just should not be around other people.
Well, I mean, do you think there should be like? I started that. I had a dark thought. It's what the fans don't realize. Okay.
About your
behind my jovial persona can be a dark person, right?
I think
I've been out. Hey, you know what?
I think 120 episodes in, they know there's a little bit dark.
At 7, let me tell you something. At 7:30 in the morning, I got 9.5 yards of concrete rolling out here to my house.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been out there tying steel and getting this super fun site going, and I am in a dark place.
Over some concrete? I mean, come on.
And I almost said, is the future? You saw that movie? Was it Justin Timberlake In Time, where they got the little timer on their wrist? Okay.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
When I lived up in Minneapolis, there was these dog parks or bark parks. You know what I mean? You'd pay a little fee and you could walk around with your dog, and they just let them run wild in there because their dogs are peeing and pooping and sniffing each other, whatever. So, is there's going to be a point in time when you get a certain age?
That's where we're going to go
to the fart park, where these old timers are just walking around, just where nothing can hurt them really, minimal supervision. Right? We're going to take Dad over to the park today, and
to the fart
park. He just gets to walk around, and so he exposes himself. They don't know,
Oh, that might be one of the greatest ideas ever. Like they could sniff each other. Just like you said, drool all you want all over everything.
Yes.
And is there going to be somebody there to clean up after
No,
them?
you keep it outside, just let it go. And then you'd have to have some kind of referee walking around amongst them that if they really got weirdo, you'd probably have to smack them or something. Like a buggy whip, an old-fashioned buggy whip, you could just crack them quick,
Or like a little
no,
prod.
Huh?
A little like prod, like you would do with cattle. Zap them.
Well, that'd probably be better because it wouldn't leave a mark. Mm-hmm.
Of course, somebody that age, it might just stop their heart.
Fucking break a hip. It might kill them. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just know that it's a sad.
Hey, instead of that bark park where where they have like little baggies, like you get it so you can pick up after your dog. Like this would have.
No, I think that defeats the purpose of bringing them over there. You just want to let them go.
Okay. I didn't know if it had like
let it rain. Oh, you're supposed to be kind and all that shit, but come on, dude. That's only for people that what's it called? Not projecting. What are them people called whenever you got a higher vocabulary than me? These people on Twitter or Instagram that post all this. Excuse me, better than everybody. I'm better than you because
they're condescending. They're condescending.
Well, I don't. Is that what it's called? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
So these people say, "Oh, well, I'm better than you because I pick up my dog poop."
I'm not sure.
My dog is ungovernable. I let him poop on the ground because he's an outlaw. You know what I mean?
He's an
fucking outlaw dog, huh?
Look, I'm sorry. I'm not picking up dogs' crap.
That's what I'm saying.
Hand.
Yes,
not by hand. I mean, maybe a pooper scooper, but not by hand.
There's so many things in this world that's wrong, right? I don't even want to start going on this because I'll alienate the few people that I like.
The few people.
Yeah, so I'm pouring the approach to my driveway, my garage. Why the person built this beautiful all brick home that I live in and never finished the driveway is beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
But I get water that pools up at the end of my garage and sidewalk. The sidewalk has fell a little bit over time because of all the water. Well, they've hauled so much gravel over the years that it's crowned about 30 feet out from my garage is higher than up against my garage, so the water can't get away very well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to sit there and just scrape probably 3 tandem loads of dump truck tandem loads of gravel off of it to get it down to where I needed to get it the slope way. You know what I mean? And it's just a load of work. I wanted to pour part of it on Friday, part of it tomorrow, but I slowed down to try to get it right, and now it's screwed me up. I don't know if I'm going to have it all poured like I want by the end of the week.
Oh boy.
I'm out there I come home. I don't even know where I was at a while ago when you said you wanted to do it. I come home, there's company here, and I should be, and then immediately they ate, and when they left, it's, hey, let's go out and finish what we need to finish before 7:30 in the morning. Well, now I've got a jackhammer in my hand to tie, hitting it in the existing retaining wall and stuff to tie this new concrete in, and I just ate 3 coops worth of barbecue chicken and 2 briskets and all this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm miserable out there, sweating. You're texting me saying you ready to go do it, and I'm like, dude, I might not live. This might be the last thing I ever do is tie this last piece of steel in here.
Oh, jeez.
You still there? I made my wife and my kid mad because I said, hey, move my truck over there so you can take that tractor or move the truck. I tell him point 3 different places where I want him to move this, where I'm going to move his truck. Now, he's only 13, so there's a little, insecurity in driving motor vehicles at that age. But so finally, the third time I told him, I said, "Don't worry about it. Give me the keys." And then I got in and drove myself. And then my wife were mad at me. You asked him to do it, and then you did. I said, "Sweetie, I've asked him 3 freaking times how to do it. You know what I mean? At a certain point, I got to just do it myself. It's done then. You know what I mean?"
Exactly.
Well, he's not going to learn how to do this. Well, you don't let him do it. Okay, get on the tractor and come over here and scrape this. Do this and do that for me. Mm-hmm.
You gotta whip him into shape, right?
I don't know. This is the problem. He got to run the Bobcat the other day a bunch, and now that's all he wants to do. So I'm out there with a freaking shovel, and he's driving a Bobcat. He's 13 years old.
You should never let him do it.
No,
You'll never get him out of there. You'll never get him out of there. He won't have a callus on his hand.
So
get that shovel back in it. He'll be soft driving that Bobcat.
Well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now, how could you get so down over just some concrete? I don't get it. I mean, it's just a challenge. I think it's just a challenge.
Let me tell you why. When I was young, when I was 19, okay, I could get up in the morning. I could pour that stuff as much as we wanted, right? I could run that shovel with the best of them.
Oh yeah.
I would take a shower about 3. I'd get home about 3:30, or go back to the hotel if we were working downtown. I'd take a shower. I'd take a nap. I'd get up at 5:30, and depending on what was going on, maybe I'd go into bed at 10:30. Maybe I went to bed at 2:30, but I could be back and do it again, right?
Yep.
And do all kinds of unmentionable things, but in between. So I think the thing that gets me the most is it makes me realize how old I
am. Yeah, I know. It's and I hate to complain because I mean I don't feel like we're that old, but boy oh boy, my body just is. It took me. This is what I had to do. So before we drove last week, I had to go to the neuromuscular massage lady.
Is that what you call her?
That's what I call her. I don't go over to Deshaun Watson. I don't go to the same place as Deshaun Watson. Because this massage, there's nothing.
Was Gary Busey there?
No, Gary Busey is not in the corner with his pants down, smoking a cigarette. There's nothing fun, nor is there a happy ending, except for when it is really over, because this hurts. And I just knew from the last trip I made, I needed to, get prepared. And I almost felt like, those professional athletes have to, have all the maintenance work done. So she worked on my shoulders.
What's that boy from the Cleveland Browns that does all that maintenance?
Probably Myles Garrett does all that.
No, the other one, the new quarterback that's just suspended.
Oh, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, he does a lot of maintenance. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, so I had to get, she worked on my shoulders and stuff to try to get them, because they'll slip, like the ligaments will slip on my shoulders, and it just hurts. Like you can't even raise my shoulders. So I made an appointment for when I came back, and I made a chiropractor appointment when I came back, just to get my back and shoulders and legs all in a reasonable position from like a 9-hour drive, 2-way, 9 hours each way. I had to do some pregame stuff and some postgame stuff to recover. That's terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're saying you could go and pour the concrete and hardly get any sleep and do whatever and be back. I can't even climb back in my car after that without getting some work done. And it's like, when did this happen? When did it happen that I couldn't drive for longer than 8 hours without feeling like I was rigor mortis had set in? I don't get it.
And you walk? How many miles a day you walk?
I walk about 3. So I mean, I'm to the point where I walk on my route and stuff, and we're doing stuff because you're moving boxes and climbing in and out and running from dogs and everything like that, and I'll still have to come home and walk another mile on the treadmill just to get loose and feel like I'm doing something. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know. I shouldn't complain. I should just be thankful that I can, walk and then get on the treadmill and do it again. I don't know. See, you got me all depressed over the concrete. Now I'm feeling bad about myself.
Yes. So now you feel my pain.
I know. It's just the way it is. We're getting old, and now we did. I was telling you, we got some really good. We've been getting some really
feedback.
Good feedback. There was a young lady from Canada that she sent me an email about. We were talking about flying, and you said how when you'd leave Minnesota, you'd fly up into Canada, and if you crashed, you just knew it was done. And she said that there's places in Canada that they would gladly take strapping men like me and you crash landing there. That they would be glad, they'd welcome us with open arms. It gets lonely up there.
Are they cannibals? I was going to say, because I don't think we just talked about how manual labor about kills us.
I know.
So I can't think, other than eating us, what they would do with us. You know what I mean? Because I'll be honest with you, at my point, I think I'd probably lay there and die. You ever see the old movie Mountain Men with Charlton Heston and what's his name in it?
Oh, I've not.
It's got Charlton Heston and anyway, it's about they're mountain men. They're trappers out there in the wilderness fighting Indians or whatever. So I'm sorry, I'm getting not mountain men. Jeremiah Johnson. Did you ever see Robert Redford play Jeremiah Johnson?
It takes a lot of ingredients to fix or build a car, like cooking, but without the frozen dinner easy way out. eBay Motors has 122 million parts. It's always the right fitment, so you can follow any recipe to a T. Whether it's a vintage Italian coupe that's classic like Grandma's meatballs, or a German luxury car that's as complicated as Oma's rouladen, to cook up something great in the garage, use the eBay Motors app or visit ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
No, I've never seen that.
Okay, so it's who wrote that? Look up who wrote it. I think it was Milanius or whatever, Emilius or whatever. Anyway, the bottom line is there's a scene in there where Robert Redford is walking through the woods and he stumbles upon a frozen corpse with a note pinned to his front, leaning up against, sitting up against a tree, dead, froze.
Yeah.
So he pulls the note out and he starts reading it out loud for the camera. You don't see what it says. It says, I, Cactus Jack or something, being of sound mind and 2 broke legs, leave everything in my, my possession to whoever finds me, and including my 54 caliber Hawken rifle. They killed the bar that killed me. So I would be like Cactus Jack up there. The first time I had to go out and cut the second load of wood, I'd just say, you know what? I'll just lay here and freeze death and put a little note, and anybody that finds it can have it. Okay, so unless they're...
Sidney Pollack was the director.
There you go. Who wrote it?
The writers were Vardis Fisher.
Okay.
He wrote the novel Mountain Man, and Raymond Thorpe wrote the screenplay.
Pollock. I knew it was somebody famous that wanted to make
Pollock,
it.
Yeah.
And why he wanted to make it, I forgot.
So you're Cactus Jack. Are you sure?
I think it's
here. I see the guy Will Greer played Bear Claw. Are you sure it wasn't Bear Claw?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now I could eat a bear claw, but I'm not sure I could play bear claw.
That's right. But yeah, so the Canadians would have to. I mean, unless they had a wigwam or something with a big propane tank and a lot of firewood or something already cut, I'd probably not do them any good. I appreciate the thought.
I tell you what, it's getting an email like that was spectacular. I mean, she seemed like a super nice lady, and
well, and that's because you're looking at that's because your cup is half full, right?
Okay. So
and all that did was make me feel old again, because there was a time when I could do that between pouring concrete, right? I could make a stop or two
in Canada
and make a house call and cut a load of wood or move a refrigerator or whatever they needed done, and get up the next morning and go back to pouring concrete.
And then suddenly you became Cactus Jack.
And then suddenly it just got to where it ain't worth messing with. You know what I'm saying?
You were no longer Jeremiah Johnson. You were Cactus Jack along the track.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It just,
well, I just like the fact that she felt compelled enough just to. I mean, she made my day as much as we supposedly made hers. You know,
she made mine. Now I wish I had a good Canadian story to tell.
You don't have a good Canadian? How can you not have a good Canadian?
No, I don't know if I've ever. I seem like I've been to Winnipeg, but that's not really Canada.
How's that not really Canada?
Well, it's like northern North Dakota or northern Minnesota. It's not, you know what I mean? When I would talk Canada, I'm thinking, it's like Calgary. Calgary, Alberta, Calgary, out the Stampede and stuff, to me is an extension of Montana. They're not real Canadians. I'm thinking, what's out east there? Not Toronto, but
Vancouver, or no?
Vancouver.
Montreal.
Yeah, something out there. You know what I mean? I'm thinking.
Oh, Vancouver's out west, right?
No, Vancouver's out west. What's out east at?
Isn't it Montreal?
Montreal. Yeah, maybe it's Montreal. Where do they speak French at?
Montreal, Quebec. Or is Montreal in Quebec?
I don't see. That's the problem with Americans right there. We don't respect the Canadian. That's why Lorne Michaels and Mike Maron and them guys were able to come in and infiltrate the comedy scene and take it over, because we didn't respect them as an adversary.
Wait, who did you say?
Lorne Michaels, the Saturday Night Live guy, or wasn't John Candy a Canadian?
Martin Short.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dan
we
Aykroyd.
didn't realize. Yeah. Yes, we as Americans did not realize that they were comedic counterparts or adversaries, and we've let them come in and overthrow the comedy scene here, which is why
Well, they did there for a long time. I mean, Eugene Levy. I mean, come on. There's some great comedic actors in that one stretch of. Man, it was probably in the 70s and 80s. I mean, those guys.
Yes,
were all
I could be the modern John Candy, which dovetails on what I started to say about Gary Busey. Gary Busey to me is on the same. If I had to put him on a hand, is on the same hand as. Who's the other? Who's the?
Steven Seagal.
Nope, that's a good one. I'm going to put him on the hand too. So we're going to have a hand of 5. Okay, let's go. Gary Busey, Steven Seagal.
Okay.
Who is Heidi Fleiss's old boyfriend?
Oh, Charlie Sheen, right?
No, the other one. He supported. He supported Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan.
Tom Berenger.
No, but that's good. We're going to put him in there too. No, we're going to leave him off. He's too good an actor. Okay. Who? You're going to make me Google this.
It's not Rucker Hauer. I'm right there. I'm close. Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore. That's right. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to put him in Tom Sizemore that said, I could have made it if I'd have went to Hollywood instead of screwing around the police department and the highway patrol and all those BS jobs I had.
Well, you're as good as those guys.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I could at least show up sober. I mean, I read where they had a second guy that was on the scene the whole time with Sizemore during Saving Private Ryan because he was coked up. They didn't know if he's going to OD or show up or what.
So who was going to?
I don't know. They had some nobody replacement.
Oh God! Oh, oh my gosh. Yeah, I think maybe you're the guy that needs to replace Tom Sizemore.
And then I listened to Michael Mann's podcast interview with Mark Maron the other day, and he was talking about oh shoot, I can't even think of who I'm. It's terrible being old, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we've already established that.
It's one thing.
And you know what? Our super fan Marion Westfall's out there somewhere going, these two, they're not old. They need to know it.
She's we're high mileage. You tell her we're high mileage.
Right. Oh, she knows.
You know what I mean? Marion There's a difference. There's all kinds of people that got more that are older, but got more time in the garage.
Oh,
I mean, we were out there in gravel road, and I mean, rough roads and everything, got everything beat out of us, beat loose.
Well, Mary and her husband, Mike, they're down there in South Carolina playing pickleball.
Oh, and there you go.
And I'm like, I don't even know if I could even open a jar of pickles anymore.
I don't even know. I canned a bunch of pickles a couple weeks ago. Remember, Dennis Farina.
Dennis Farina.
You know, because he went from being the cop to being the actor. Yeah. I could have done that. Nick Nolte. I put Nick Nolte on that hand too.
Oh, Nick Nolte's
in the old. Yes, my favorite cop in any movie is Nick Nolte in 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy. Right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I could have been Nick Nolte. I could be Nick Nolte right there. If they reshot 48 Hours today, I could play Nick Nolte's part. I'm right where he was at that time.
He looked rough. And I don't think he was acting. That's the thing.
Yeah, just mad, bitter. I don't do the cigarettes, but the cussing and just mad and make just.
Hey convict. Hey convict.
Yeah, yes, right. Yeah.
We're not friends. We're not
brother. We're not partners, and we ain't brothers. We ain't partners. We ain't friends. If Gans gets away, you'll be sorry you ever met me. And he goes, I'm already sorry.
Sorry. Oh, how sad is that we know that?
Well, I'll tell you what, my old man took me. Goes, it's funny. I'm gonna click on that and see when it was made. When did it come out?
Probably 84. I'm saying 84. 84, 85.
It could be. He was in Tropic Thunder too, which is another great one. Right? Oh, that was another 48 Hours come out in 89. The original 48 is 82. My dad took me to go see that.
82?
I was 11 years old.
And you went to the theater to see that? Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, think about that. I was exposed to 48 Hours. I was exposed to Nick Nolte and
Eddie Murphy
when I was 11 years old.
Yeah. I think that pretty much
that sums up the 80s right there. That sums up the 80s.
Thank God Gary Busey wasn't the police sergeant in that.
Well, I don't. Yeah. Well, I don't. I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something shitty, but I've decided not to.
Okay. Oh gosh.
It was just about maybe these kids nowadays, if they watch something like that, part of them would probably want to cancel it. You know what I mean? Because it was kind of. I mean, it was. I don't want to say racist. I mean, it was where it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe in the 4th or 5th grade, if kids got exposed to that, they could see the real world.
That needs to be the curriculum, is to watch 48 Hours.
I could get a Hollywood curriculum where these kids would watch about three movies a day, 3 movies a week. The rest of the time, they would be working on a car on a gravel driveway with no tools, and maybe cut the grass with a push mower, or ride around in a truck with no seatbelt, or
smoke cigarette. Make them smoke a cigarette.
I could think of a dozen. Walk through a cornfield at night for punishment.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
You guys want your extra hour of TV? Here's 40 acres. It's 1/4 mile square. You got the TV's on the other side of this cornfield. That's death of 1,000 cuts. And guess what? At the other side, there's a swimming pool and a TV. And when they jump in that pool, it's a saltwater pool. They just don't know it. Okay. We're going to toughen these kids up. I thought about, I started to write this treatment one time about it took place in California in kind of an uppity, maybe, like a Beverly Hills or Brentwood type thing where some kids got in trouble. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for them to get out, they had to be sentenced to, like a community service deal. And the judge, you remember like My Cousin Vinny, remember that kind of that slapstick, crime courtroom type stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where they got sentenced to 2 weeks at Cooter's home for, wayward kids. And what it was, they'd go out there and have to live in a trailer park for about 2 weeks and survive. And that way they appreciated Brentwood when they got back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean.
But the problem is we've turned America into Hollywood now, so nobody can appreciate nothing.
Jeez. Well, I'm with you. I think part of their curriculum should be maybe on Tuesdays they got to watch at least 2 episodes All in the Family, followed by 2 episodes.
Yeah, maybe 3. That's another role I think I could do right now.
Archie Bunker.
Yeah, I think I could be right now. Mm-hmm. I could do his. I used to call my oldest boy, the one that's in the military now, Meathead.
I was gonna say, do I have to play Meathead or what?
And and I could do it, man. I could do it. I could do it this afternoon. The only thing is, I think, Carol O'Connor was acting, and I think I feel it some days. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It'd be like what's his name on Smokey and the Bandit?
Oh, Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, a lot of his lines he just made up as he went.
It's in Smokey and the Bandit. He just made them up.
Yeah, he just made them up, and sometimes I think I could make some.
Isn't that? Listen, that's essentially what we're doing here. This is a once a week version of Smokey and the Bandit, and you're Jackie Gleason,
and you're the bandit trying to get us. You're just trying to get us to the end of the podcast without me wrecking, or what?
I think I'm probably more like Jerry Reed.
Yes, probably. He was he made a few tours around Nashville.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, one of the greatest songs ever written. She got the gold mine, I got the shaft. Well,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Believe me, I lived that one.
Yeah, well, hey, it happens, I guess, sometimes. I don't know. I don't know. What else? What other fan mail you got for me before I crash and burn here?
That's the only one that's the one that really sticks out to me. I mean, anytime somebody is welcoming us to a foreign country,
car crash
with one plane crash.
You know what made me think about what was that Leo DiCaprio movie, The Island?
Yeah. Well, that was.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So when I think something like that, or what else was? Yeah, there's probably some weird stuff going. They probably got a big old wooden fort, or what was that? It wasn't. Who was the greatest race? Who was the? Who wrote? Was it Hemingway that wrote about the shipwreck guy that they were being hunted? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know that. What?
Oh, come on!
I don't. What?
Come on!
I wasn't a big.
I'm not
a big Hemingway reader.
I thought it was Greatest Race, but I'm gonna look it up here.
I don't know that one. Wasn't that a movie with like Ray Liotta and Ice-T back?
Yes, it might not have been him. It might where they are shipwrecked. Hold on, shipwrecked, and
wasn't that Lord of the Flies or something?
It was Most Dangerous Game. The Most Dangerous Game was a short written by Richard Connell. Never heard of him. Published in Collier's, 1924.
But that was a movie, right?
Yeah, well, they made it in. I think they made it into other things. Adaptation. So, my gosh, it was adapted in 32, 45, 56, 61, 68, 72, 72, 82, 87, 87, 93, 94, 97, Eliminated. Which one was you? The Hunt. Who's in yours?
I'm sure like Ice-T or Ray Liotta or somebody was in it. I'm looking. I can't get off Jeremiah Johnson here. It's my IMDb is stuck on. So it's gosh, what was that movie? It's one where there was a game, like there was an island and they put them.
They were being hunted. Yeah.
Yeah, Ice-T.
I was gonna say, didn't Schwarzenegger play in one of them?
He was in The Running Man.
Yes. See, that put him on my hand to 5. That I could have done that. I think
you could have done what Schwarzenegger
had
did?
I started younger. If I started younger, I'm too old now. But had I started younger, I could have done some of that stuff maybe.
You could have been built, been built like that. I'm trying to look at
like Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at.
I am built like Schwarzenegger. What the fuck are you talking about?
What Schwarzenegger is that?
I'm a little taller than him, but
is that Ernie Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, I'm a little taller than him, but hey.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, they have Surviving the Game. Is that it? Right here. Guess who is in Surviving the Game? We're taking this full circle.
The governor of Minnesota.
Rutger Hauer, Ice-T,
Yeah.
Charles Dutton, and one Mr. Gary Busey.
Oh, there you go. I mean, you closed it up. Does it get any better than that? Did he keep his pants on and his cigar lit or not?
I think so, because I don't think Ice-T would have played that game.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the From the Shadows podcast. Until next time, never shy away from the darkness or what may be lurking in the shadows. We are out.
God only knows what's hiding in our shadows.
It takes a lot of ingredients to fix or build a car, like cooking, but without the frozen dinner easy way out. eBay Motors has 122 million parts. It's always the right fitment, so you can follow any recipe to a T. Whether it's a vintage Italian coupe that's classic like Grandma's meatballs, or a German luxury car that's as complicated as Oma's rouladen, to cook up something great in the garage, use the eBay Motors app or visit ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.